is the acting. And as I said before, everyone did amazing, but I think there were three standouts in this episode. So my first standout is going to have to be Heather Morris. There was something about that scene where she was in the bathroom and it was just her crying, that it was just fabulous, and it broke my heart. I don't know why I loved it so much, but I did. So I just thought it was fabulous. I also think that Blake Jenner did an amazing job this episode. He didn't really have like that many moments in the actual shooting, but I don't really know why I keep calling it a shooting because no one got shot, but I guess is considered a school shooting because there were gunshots, so I'm gonna keep calling it that. But he didn't have any actually moments in the choir room during the shooting, but his just everything with Katie just broke my heart. And again, I mentioned this earlier, specifically when he accused Jake and Marley of being Katie and trying to hurt him, and when he said his line, it had to be someone close to me, it had to be someone that knew just to say to get me to trust them. It was something along those lines of what he said. If I quoted that perfectly, I'm going to be pretty proud of myself. But that just the way those were, it broke my heart. And I also had an extremely broken heart when during Say, when he like ran into when he had that realization that like she wasn't coming, and then he just ran to Glee Club, and then like when him and Jake had that moment that broke, like when Jake was like, "What's up?" and he was like, "Nah, she didn't come," and then like they hugged it out, and it broke my heart. And like Marley was hugging him. I don't like Riley, you guys know that, but that was just so cute. I ship their friendship. See what happens now? Now I like them, now that I know that they're friends. See? Okay, so that's that. And last, the person I think, without a doubt, did the best this episode, and they didn't have as much going on. Well, they did have a lot going on in this episode, but they literally just had probably like 20 seconds, maybe a little more, maybe 30 seconds. It wasn't even like a full minute that they did this, and they had like other parts in this episode, but it wasn't like anything like that serious. It was just kind of like a scene. But oh my gosh, Chord Overstreet, I think personally, without a doubt, and I will literally go to my grave saying this, I think that he without a doubt deserves an award for his performance in this episode. Just the scene, and the scene I'm talking about, the scene that I thought was the best, because this is the only really serious scene you had in the episode. Yeah, you had scenes beginning with like Brittany, and you had scenes after with Brittany, but the scene that really, really, really broke my heart, and I just thought was absolutely freaking phenomenal, was when he tried to leave the room to go get Brittany, and Beast and Mr. Schue had to grab him, and he was screaming, and they had his hand over his mouth, and they were like, just look at these people, look at them, you're putting their life in danger. And just the look in his eyes, like you could just tell he was so upset. He was like, Brittany is out there and I can't go get her, but I also love these people, and by me going to get Brittany and by me doing this, I'm hurting them. And you could just see how conflicted and how heartbroken he was right there. And we all know that Chord Overstreet's an amazing actor. We all know that there's been two moments throughout the series, well, this is the third moment, but there have been two moments before in the series when I also cried over Chord Overstreet, and one was when we found out that that Sam was homeless, and they had the scene where Finn and Rachel came to his house. I cried for that. My heart broke, and that was before I was even obsessed with Chord Overstreet to no end, because I am obsessed with Chord Overstreet to no end right now. But at the time of that scene, he was pretty new to Glee, and I didn't really know much about him, but still, broke my heart and thought it was fabulous. And then I Will Always Love You, that when his reaction to that, Sam's reaction to that, that broke my heart too. But this one by far beats all of those, and I think that that particular moment was the most heartbroken I have ever been over a situation on Glee. Just that scene with Quit Overstreet, because I've cried over Glee before, obviously, and I was obviously I had tears in my eyes, and I was shaking from the second the gunshot went off. Like literally, the second the gunshot went off, and everyone was like, "Wait, what?" And then that was when I started like, "Oh my God, it's happening!" But then when Jake stood up and he was like, "What is that?" Which I also want to shout out. My heart broke when he had the tears on his face. My baby, my husband, you know how I feel about him. I just, And the second that Jake stood up and was like, "What was that?" and she was like, "Everyone hide." That was when I started, like, I got tears in my eyes. But then when Quit Overstreet and Sam had that scene, he tried to leave, that was when I literally started bawling. So that's it for this week's little talk thing. I think I'm probably gonna do one of these every week. But I don't know, I figured I'd start here. Even there's only 5 episodes left in the season. Maybe if you'll like it, it'll become a thing. So I'll see you next week. Hopefully we'll have more of a comedy next week, but I also don't want them to forget about this. I wanna deal with kind of like the aftermath of this still. I don't want them to just totally dump this like they have done with other serious things on the show. For example, Quinn's car accident and Marley's eating disorder. Those were kind of dumped, and I feel like they should have spent more time on them. But I hope that they don't spend too much time on this, and they don't make another wicked serious episode. But I hope that they do kind of work this into getting over this as they prepare for regionals, as they move on, but still have some comedy in there, because I don't know, that's what I want for next week's. Oh, and next week's, for God's sakes, just please, you know what, literally, I don't care about anything I just said. If this is solved in this episode, literally this could be the episode and I would be happy. This could be all you focus on in the episode and I'll be happy. For God's sakes, tell us who Katie is. Like, that's all I want this episode. Who is Katie? Tell us who Katie is, please.